Hi guys, and welcome to this week's fitness related video. So guys, are artificial sweeteners healthy? Well, this debate has been going on for years and years and years, and I'm going to touch upon the latest research about the topic. And I personally have used artificial sweeteners for quite some time now, a few years you can say. So guys, a lot of people, a lot of ordinary people in general, have come to the conclusion, without any evidence at all, that sugar is better than anything, and including artificial sweeteners just because they're artificial. But the reality is that sugar is one of the worst things ever. It's like the white death basically. And it can cause endless amounts of issues, not only diabetes, but yes, diabetes, but diabetes can lead to a lot of other things, and sugar can also increase your risk of cancer and a lot of stuff, guys. Of course, you're getting overweight, getting addicted, really a lot of things. Artificial sweeteners are a few, so they're like not 1, 2, 3. Some are not artificial, like stevia. And mostly what we have learned so far from a lot of research is that indeed artificial sweeteners are safe for humans. They do save us from getting the diabetes and all of that. And a ton of people actually think that if you're not diabetic, you don't need to use them. But in fact, if you don't use them, you can become diabetic very easily. You can be younger or older and still become diabetic. And if you use those, you are going to save a ton of calories, and your blood sugar will not rise, and your pancreas will be safe, and all those things. Of course, you also have to be lower on carbs, which is still sugar. So there's that. There's different types of carbs, and if you eat them in moderation, if you're active, things totally change. So it's all about a particular balance. But if you can escape sugar from things that you make, like pancakes, any types of cakes, any types of anything that you eat, making your coffee sweeter or whatever you use artificial sweeteners for, then you should choose them definitely before sugar. Now, there's a few that you have to consider. Saccharin is one of the first. I use that the most actually, because it is cheaper, it's 0 calorie, and there's no data that is harmful from what I've looked at so far, and it's the oldest. A ton of people used it throughout the years. It has the most amounts of years of usage basically. There's of course stevia, which is not very delicious at all. In fact, it's not good at all. I've used that for a few years, didn't like it, and it's super expensive, so I just switched to the saccharin. Before that, of course, we have aspartame and acesulfame K. Not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. The real research, not one that you can find that it was not really very well conducted and it came out with crazy results that are now invalid and all that. The real research about aspartame and other artificial sweeteners that are 0 calories is pretty much, the outcome is that they're not doing anything to the body. Aspartame is just an amino acid. They just go through the body and that's it. There are some that might cause you to have like bloating, like xylitol. There are others that go very good with stevia. Actually, stevia is doable if you get erythritol. So erythritol and stevia are good. But, erythritol is a alcoholic natural sweetener. It's good. Erythritol plus stevia is a good combination, but it's going to be so expensive to do that. So basically, guys, I personally go with Sweetly. That's a brand that uses saccharin. I get 1 liter of that. And it lasts me for, 2 months or so. So it's very good. I just put a few drops a day, which is very, very little because, most of these sweeteners are 1,000 times sweeter than sugar. In America, actually, those that are on a sachets, they're not the best thing ever. So if you can get just some kind of a liquid form, maybe it's going to be better. So that's why, out of all, I just reached the conclusion that saccharin I found to be, the best for me. And when I get my 0 calories sparkly drinks, like lemonade, for instance. Most of them are made with aspartame. Aspartame is so sweet that they put like 0.00, I mean so little quantity to make a lot of liquid be sweet, then it's just ridiculously small amount and it doesn't actually build up in the body. You have to drink so many cans of such drinks, so many, I don't know how many exactly, but a ton, to be considered not very good idea. But you can say that for water. I mean, if you drink too much water, you can make your blood run less thick, and that's actually pretty dangerous. So there's so many things that you can overconsume on and not be healthy, but if you just consume them on a regular basis but still not in huge quantities, it's absolutely fine, and there's just nothing, they're absolutely doing nothing to the body. Whereas if you consume sugar, you have spike in blood sugar, spike in insulin, which leads to weight gain if you're not active, and so many aspects to this, so many downsides to sugar, so many really. And we can't say a thing about, the artificial sweeteners. So that's the bottom line, guys. I would always go for those instead of sugar, because for 5 years, actually more now, 5 years, I'm able to sustain myself and a great health all around, and great skin, great everything, thank God. And those artificial sweeteners actually help me more than I can ever imagine, because I have a sweet tooth, and if I don't eat something sweet, it's just very hard. But I was able to do so many recipes because of those substitutes of sugar, and it just saved me. It saved me totally. I can't stress this enough. And actually there's a recent study about sparkly drinks that are 0 calories and that are artificially sweetened, and the results came out that people that drank those sparkly drinks lost more weight than the people that drank water. And that was because when they drank these sparkly drinks, they were sweet, and that prevented them from eating a lot of the time. So that's how they saved a lot of calories and lost more weight than if they drank only water. So there's one more plus and one more proof for artificial sweeteners. So guys, I would say if you have to pick those, and I think that most people definitely should, unless you have some kind of a condition, but I never heard if that is the case for some people. But let's say 90.99% of the time, if you can go with artificial sweeteners, don't be afraid to drink some sodas or whatever with aspartame, if that's the sweetener, or sucralose or stevia, combined with erythritol, that's okay. And also saccharin. So yeah, there's others that do have calories, and I don't recommend those. Just don't use them, like malitoto or malintato or something like that. You will see it when you read it on a chocolate bar, for instance. Those are recommended for diabetics, but actually they do raise blood sugar and they do have calories. So when we're talking about artificial sweeteners, of course, those that are not harmful and really good to use are those that have no calories. So to sum up, from the non-artificial, like stevia and erythritol, those two are the best. Xylitol has some calories and could cause a bit of bloating, so have that in mind. That's why I always say just stevia mixed with erythritol if you want to be like natural. If you don't care about that, just aspartame when it comes to drinks, sucralose, or the saccharin. So yeah guys, that is it. Let me know what you think in the comments if you wish, and I can always show what I do recipe wise with my artificial sweetener, the liquid one saccharin that I use. If you wish, just let me know. I do want to do some kind of a new recipe video at some point, so there's that. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for being here, and as always, PM me, DM me if you need to talk to me. I reply as soon as I possibly can, guys. Thank you for support here.